Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Zimil Ruzaina. My study number is A1B2911002. I'm from group 4 and actually with my friends Indirwan, Shakila, and Aditya. So in this video, we are going to explain to you guys about our subtopic, and there are 5 questions that we need to answer. And the first question is, how about Indonesia's economic condition during COVID-19? The second, what are the main problems of Indonesia's economic during this pandemic? The third is, how does the pandemic affect on Indonesia's economic? And the next question, what are the economic policies from the government in order to maintain economic issues and its controversy? And the last question is, what are the best solutions to cope these economic issues? And I'm going to explain to you guys about the first question. How about Indonesia's economic condition during COVID-19? According to Organization Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, this pandemic implicates the threat of a major economic crisis, the collapse of public consumption, the loss of consumer trust, and the fall of the stock market that ultimately leads to unsustainable economic growth. In the corporate aspect, this pandemic has disrupted the performance of companies, especially those engaged in the trade, transportation, and tourism sector. In this pandemic situation, according to Kemenkop UKM, there are around 37,000 UMKM, or Ministry of Cooperation and Small Business, who report that they are very seriously affected by this pandemic. The Indonesian government has a major tax at its shoulder with regard to the current COVID-19 pandemic. First, preserving Indonesia's safety and health as a major focus, and the second, focus preserving economic growth. According to OECD, a number of factors should be considered in order to implement the country's economic activities. The Finance Ministry said, first, strict health protocols could be applied when the government gives UMKM permission to carry out its activities. Second, the government can issue a policy to provide leniency in the payment of debt or credit installment for UMKM, or even postpone the payment process. The third is financial assistance to UMKM players. And the last is structural policies for long-term interest. Okay, I think that's all about my answer. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shakila Febrian Shaputri. My student number is A1B219108. So, I'm going to explain my subtopic, which is the question is, what is the main problems of Indonesia's economic during pandemic? Okay, the increased case of COVID-19 pandemic has affected the world economic, including Indonesia. The COVID-19 pandemic that has been established by United Nations affects the transportations, tourism, trade, health, and other sectors. So, globally, the main problems of Indonesia's economy during pandemic are as follows. The first, increased criminal cases. Since the government implemented various policies such as working from home, territorial restrictions, or social distancing, the closure of various public places such as tourist attractions, And many employers have even fired their employers or layoffs to anticipate the impact of the business closures. It caused to an increase in criminal cases such as theft of masks, manufacturing of fake disinfectants, or hand sanitizer that actually endanger health, and robbery and murder. And the second one, hard to get a job and increased poverty. Informal workers who usually get daily incomes also greatly harmed by this pandemic.
Hello, good day everyone. My name is Aditya Putra Pratama. My student number is A1B21105, and in this video, I would like to explain to you about my subtopic or question. How does the pandemic affect on Indonesian economy? Well, I'm going to explain to you a little bit. The presence of the coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 has worsened the economic situation around the world. In fact, world financial institutions such as the International Monetary Fund (IMF) have projected that the global economy will grow at -3%. These followings are the effects of the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemics on the Indonesian economy. Well, the first is widespread layoffs. Second is contraction in manufacturing PMI. The third is import performance. Four, impact of inflation. Five, cancellation of domestic and international flights. Six, decreased number of foreign tourists. Seven, loss of air service sector revenues. Eight, decreased hotel occupancy. What are the solutions for this problem? Okay, the first is people have the rights to demand things like subsidy or money for to the government. So this is the sixth cycle of the economic in the nation to solve the economic problems of Indonesia. Okay, there's a supply side, which is the demand go to demand side, which and government give people additional housing subsidy assistance program. Then go to the demand side, you can ask for more, and then adaptation run the economy. So it goes round and round until the pandemic ends. So I guess it's kind of a problem solution for this economic problem in the nation. So I guess that's all I need to say. Thank you. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Indirwan and my student number is A1B21901. So in this special occasion, I would like to account for what are the economic policies from the government in order to maintain Indonesian economic issues and its controversy during this pandemic. Okay, let's get started. According to Badan Pusat Statistik or BPS, Indonesia's gross domestic product or GDP in the second quarter of 2020 was minus up to 5.30%. In order to cope with this issue, the government has launched Perpu number 1 2020 concerning state financial policy and financial system stability for handling the COVID-19. So this policy has been launched by the government in order to maintain unstable economic conditions occurred due to the COVID-19, because as we know, until now the growth of Indonesia's economic cannot be predicted by many people or even experts. As an effort to overcome the worsening economic condition, the government decided to take extraordinary steps. There are 4 steps by the government in handling the COVID-19 or the Indonesian's economic. The first one is increased government spending. Reporting from Compass, BPS data shows that the component of household consumption is the component with the most contraction due to the pandemic. In other words, the component experienced the most drastic economic decline right now. And then the government also plans to optimize government spending so that domestic demand will increase. In that way, the business world will be motivated to invest. So this policy is hoped to help investment, to improve or to increase investment in Indonesia during this pandemic. And the second is establishment of the Committee for Handling COVID-19 and National Economic Recovery. As quoted from Tempo, the government formed this committee which is engaged in ensuring the synergy of health and economic management, because we know health and economic are most important aspect right now during this pandemic. In addition, with a more structured handling of COVID-19, it is hoped that the public can restore confidence in carrying out shopping and investment activities. So it is a good policy from the government to make a synergy between health and economic management, and also can encourage Indonesian citizens to confidence in carrying out shopping and investment activities, especially for investor. Okay. And the third is UMKM assistance program. The government is implementing an assistance program through guaranteeing work capital loans for UMKM. So this policy will help UMKM a lot to improve or to improve their business during this pandemic. And the last is placement of government funds in bank. Currently, the government has placed 30 trillion in the Association of State-Owned Bank and 11.5 trillion in Regional Development Bank. As quoted from Tempo, current credit disbursement has reached 43.5 trillion. So this policy, I hope to cope this economic issue in Indonesia during this pandemic. And now we move on to the last topic. Has Indonesia been in recession? I think it is one of interesting question from us as a citizen, because as we know, the Indonesian economic condition is still decreasing right now. Recession is a significant decrease in economic activity that occurs for months or even years. The unemployment rate will increase, employment will decrease, and the level of retail sales will also fall, are the indicators that indicate a country in a recession. Right now, the three indicators of recession are in Indonesia, so we have to be careful with this. But until now, it was uncertain whether Indonesia would actually experience a recession, because Indonesia's economic growth is completely difficult to predict, or even experts cannot predict. Indonesia been in a recession or not? So we have to be prepared about this issue, and the government as well. So those methods that government showing us is hope to encourage Indonesia's economic. So we will not face recession in our country during this pandemic. So we hope the best for our country to maintain or to cope the economic issues during this pandemic. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, we meet again. I'm Shakila Febriansha Putri. My student number is A1B2191108. And I'm going to explain the last subtopic, which is the question is, what are the best solutions to cope these economic issues? There are various ways that can be done to prevent panic economic problems during this pandemic. The first, evaluate in our income. This income evaluate can help you find out your current financial position by checking the balance between your expenses and your income at the end of each month. And the second one, looking for additional income. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many of people are lost their jobs, and many of people working from home, so more time at home with reduced income, but the expenses must continue. That's what makes us have to looking additional income by using sector that is not disturbed during this pandemic. Already many of people are doing serve their business, for example, selling online or online shop. And the last way, I think, programs from the government. That's all from us. Thanks for watching, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.